Welcome to This Explainer. If you're someone who loves taking a structured, no-nonsense approach to learning, you are absolutely in the right place today. We are going to be breaking down a highly specific, traditional Ayurvedic guide that focuses entirely on natural hair care, and the undisputed star of today's source material, the hibiscus plant. We're going to look at exactly how this single botanical ingredient is used in a few totally different forms to target very specific hair issues. I'm super excited to guide you through this because it is just a perfect example of how targeted and methodical traditional remedies can be when they're laid out clearly.
But first, let's get real for a second. Are you struggling with early white hair, hair fall, or maybe some severe dandruff? Let's face it, these are incredibly common, everyday frustrations that so many of us deal with, and man, they can be stubborn to fix. But what's cool about the source material we're exploring today is that it doesn't just offer some generic one-size-fits-all fix. Instead, it serves as a direct, natural remedy guide specifically targeting those exact issues. It claims that by using specific parts of the hibiscus plant, combined with just a few other precise ingredients, you can address these problems head-on.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here's our roadmap for today. First, we'll outline some common hair problems. Then, we'll examine a hair fall oil, look at a dandruff and itch paste, break down a mask for dry hair, and finally, summarize this nourishing herb.
Starting with Section 1, Common Hair Problems.
So the source explicitly lists out a really broad spectrum of symptoms. According to the text, if you are experiencing premature graying, active hair fall, overall thinning of your hair, a persistently dry scalp, flaking dandruff, frustrating itchiness, or honestly even just a loss of your hair's natural shine, these botanical solutions are directed at you. And what's really fascinating here is just how comprehensive these claims are. The source isn't treating one isolated problem. It presents the hibiscus plant as this incredibly versatile foundation capable of addressing this entire list of symptoms, provided it's prepared correctly.
Moving right along to Section 2, Hair Fall Oil.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how precise it is. The source doesn't just vaguely say, hey, use some hibiscus. It dictates a very specific Ayurvedic blend. Notice the exact quantities here. You need exactly 5 hibiscus flowers and 8 to 10 hibiscus leaves. To this, the text instructs us to add exactly 1 teaspoon of amla powder and 1 teaspoon of bringraj powder. Finally, the whole shebang gets mixed into a base of 200 milliliters of either coconut oil or sesame oil. This deliberate, exact combination is what the source claims is necessary to specifically target thinning hair and hair fall.
But look, having the right ingredients isn't enough, right? The preparation process is absolutely crucial. The source outlines 3 strict steps you have to follow. Step 1, you must cook this mixture on a low flame. Step 2 is vital because it gives you a specific visual cue. You don't just cook it for a random set time. You cook it until the hibiscus leaves become completely black and crispy. That is your indicator that the active properties have successfully infused into the oil. And finally, step 3, you allow the mixture to cool down completely before straining out the oil for use.
And when it comes to application, the text is crystal clear. You should apply this oil 2 to 3 times a week. Crucially, the source specifies that this should be done at night, massaging it directly into the roots of your hair. Now, why does this matter? Well, according to the method described, leaving this carefully prepared oil on the scalp overnight actually maximizes the remedy's potential. It basically allows the ingredients plenty of time to work their magic before you wash it out the next morning with a mild shampoo.
Let's transition to Section 3, Dandruff and Itch Paste.
The really crucial point here is how the ingredients adapt to the specific problem. If you're dealing with dandruff and an itchy scalp, the mixture shifts completely from our previous oil recipe. The source drops the flowers entirely. Instead, it pairs hibiscus leaves with neem leaves and aloe vera gel. And this isn't just random. The text is very deliberately combining the base properties of hibiscus with aloe for some targeted moisture and neem for its well-known antibacterial benefits. It tells us to combine these 3 specific ingredients to form a thick paste. It's a completely different botanical approach tailored exactly to the issue of scalp irritation.
And because this is a targeted paste and not an oil, the application rules totally change too. You definitely don't leave this one on overnight. The source dictates that you apply this specific paste to the head, let it sit for exactly 20 minutes, and then wash it right out. It's meant to be a quick, direct application designed to deliver the properties of the neem, aloe, and hibiscus leaves straight to the scalp without prolonged exposure.
Let's move to and see how this builds in Section 4, Mask for Dry Hair.
Once again, we see the structured logic of this Ayurvedic guide totally at work. The problem here is the loss of natural shine and overall dryness. To combat this, the mixture pivots once more. The hero ingredient, the hibiscus flowers, makes a comeback.
But this time, it is combined with fenugreek seeds, also known as methi, which the text notes must be soaked first. These are then mixed with yogurt to create a hydrating hair mask. According to the source, this specific triad of ingredients, the flowers, the soaked fenugreek, and the yogurt, is exactly what creates the optimal mask to bring back shine and banish that dryness for good.
Which brings us to our final section, Section 5, a nourishing herb.
The original text concludes with this really powerful summary quote. Hibiscus is a very beautiful, nourishing medicine for the hair, and honestly, it's a perfectly apt wrap-up of everything we've just covered. Throughout the source material, whether it was dealing with premature graying and hair fall via a slow-cooked oil, tackling dandruff with a neem and aloe leaf paste, or restoring shine with a yogurt and fenugreek mask, the text consistently frames the hibiscus plant as a highly regarded, versatile, and totally foundational remedy in this Ayurvedic tradition.
So, we've broken down the symptoms, the specific ingredients, and the exact applications. Now I have a question for you. Which of these 3 targeted hibiscus recipes is the most relevant to your current hair care routine? Whether it's the oil, the paste, or the mask, you now have the exact blueprint straight from the source to start experimenting. Think about how you might apply this structured knowledge to your own personal care routine this week. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and I'll see you next time.